Hey, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Sunday Night Coffee Talk. I see we've got Carrie and Brenda, our awesome moderator Attila. Rickwin is here, and Barely Begun. Mama Bear Lynette, good evening. Going to be listening in as she feeds her son. Oh, no worries about that. Missing comments is no big deal in this channel. We'll come around to everything eventually. Let's see, Carrie had to walk to church because of the fog and smoke making it too hard to drive. That's some crazy stuff, and yeah, well, but it's good to see everyone this evening. I know others will join us very shortly, but I'm just going to tell you guys that I was like, maybe I want to go to live stream early because I'm hungry for dinner, but I waited. So, hey, our friend Annie, our other awesome, amazing moderator, and Hungry Heath, Genjoyment, and Visual Keto, welcome. Oh, on the big screen, goodness. Let's see. Oh, so yeah, lots of hellos back and forth. Let's see. We'll just give it a second here. Goodness, everybody's saying hellos. I love that part. That's my favorite on any live stream. Hey, good evening, Gigi's here. It's just seeing people connect, and like some of us have the same people, and so you get very familiar. I love that. It's a nice fostering of community. So I'm going to introduce you guys to my coffee device. People can catch up. I can talk about it again later, etc., etc. This, friends, is the Final Press. This is the version 2. They had a previous one, and I'll be honest, I wasn't too sure about it, so I didn't. But some of the concerns that I had, they addressed when they put this out on Kickstarter, and I talked to them. I asked some more questions, and I became a backer. So it finally came through. Let me bring this up close for you to get a good look at it. Let's see. There you go. So you can see it has a little micron filter, and then the little screw at the top leads to a spring. We'll talk a little bit more about it here. It comes all put together. It comes with some extra additional springs in case they eventually wear out, as springs do. And then so you're really set for basically for life with this. It comes apart. This is the filter, and you can see the little press. So right now what I'm going to do is loosen the top, and that pulls the lever, so you see how it will compress. It's a single cup a single cup device, so it travels. It comes with a little silicone cover so that when you're storing it, you can put it away and keep it protected. I don't want to put it all the way away. And then it has a little sleeve that you can slide the whole thing into and then tuck it into your backpack, etc. So this is the Final Press. Let's see. I thought I saw someone new. Oh, the new coffee toys from mentioned from Air Frying Auntie. Oh, Hungry He says he can barely hear me. Is the volume really low? Truthfully, I'm not sure that I know how to make adjustments to that. There's a little bit. That's maxed out on my end. Is that better? I'll also try and speak up a little bit. Is that better? Give me a thumbs up if the heat got better. Oh, and Hungry Heath is saying they have made a Cooper's Inferno hot sauce. So let's see. Carrie says, is that a short sleeve or a long sleeve for the coffee press? So this is the short little silicone cover for the coffee filter. Okay, I'm glad that it's better. I actually just stopped mumbling, and I turned the volume on the mic all the way up. Excellent. I'm glad to hear that. Problem solved. Then the other thing is this is the carrying sleeve to go for it. Basically, it's a single cup French press. So let's go ahead. Coffee tonight, I ground ahead of time. It's your standard coffee grind. And tonight's coffee is a Kirkland Costco coffee. They're organic whole bean, medium dark roast. So let me just set that aside. And it's, you know, all the standard coffee things. it smells really nice, and we've been drinking it for a few days anyways. This is my half teaspoon measure so that I don't spill, but it says 1 to 2 teaspoons, 7 to 8 grams. I was going to do it until it looks right to me for a single cup. You don't want to fill it completely, but you do want a good amount in there so that you actually are brewing a nice cup of coffee. So we're going to do that and screw it back on. So check this out. We take this and it just goes right into the cup. And yes, I ground a little bit extra so that I would have my single cup, but then this can go in for the big brewer in the morning. All good to go. I have my coffee water filtered at 196, and we're just going to pour that right in here. Let's see. By the way, this is my first time using this, so this is a test, a live test. We'll know if it's going to be good or not by how well it works. It is sort of fiddly here in this part because it says we've got to stir it for like a minute. Let's see. But I see the conversation back where fermented Cooper's Inferno hot sauce. Now you're talking. That would be amazing, like a sriracha but extra spicy. And Mama Bear says this looks like the world's tiniest coffee press. Yes, I agree. And I'm just gonna give it, it says like, give it like 10 each direction so that you get everything in there. You know, it's kind of like, we didn't really bloom the coffee, so, but it's gonna sit in this water for a while until we like it, is what it says. And then we'll depress the press. That's a lot of press saying here. But you can see it's brewing. It's very light right at the moment, so hopefully it beefs up a little bit. We'll let it sit. Have some patience, Betraya. It's not even one whole full minute, right? But let me tell you, I've been dying. I had a cup of coffee today, but I haven't had my second cup, and I've just been absolutely craving it. And Carrie says, I must pick the coffee off the floor since it was ground. It's darkening. All right. Get there. We'll just set that here and let it go for another 3 to 4 minutes, it says. We'll see. It actually is looking pretty good now. So it's a little light, but not bad for how short it's been in there. And Air Fried Andy, yes, it is. I did get it on Kickstarter, and I believe they're taking pre-orders now. This was the backer delivery. So, and then of course for my beverage, I've got my Gamer Sups. Delicious, delicious. Now, I'm going to set my little board aside, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Dinner, I'm going to turn my little hot pot on, I believe. Yes. And I'm going to throw my noodles in. These are the same noodles I've talked about all the time. No, you didn't bomb with the jokes, Carrie. I'm not keeping up with the comments, that's all. And I'm highly distracted today. But I've just got chicken broth in here. Sorry, let me tilt it. Well, you can't really see. If I tilt it, it'll spill. It's just chicken, my normal chicken stock. And I just threw my noodles that I had already softened right in there. Because I am making myself a nice soup for dinner. That's what the name of the meal is. And we're just going to let those go for a bit. Put that in the bowl. See, like the lid was right here, Carrie, and I couldn't even see it. So you're fine. So we can just let that sit for a while. And actually I have some shaved chicken in the fridge, but we can leave it there for the moment. I wanted to show you my array because I've been, you know, we have all kinds of projects in this house for our food, and I know we've been talking on the Hungry Heath channel about fermented foods, and I also do a lot of pickling and non-fermented, but I don't know what you would call seasoned eggs, but it's kind of a pickle. It's a pickle, I would say. So, but these were only today, so these are not like super pickled, but it's good enough for today. So these are my seasoned eggs. I'm going to have a couple of those cut up on the soup. And let's just fix our accoutrements on the side. This is pickled ginger, which you all are familiar with. Pickled, super sweet, and then that little hit from the ginger. The pink stuff is baby ginger, if it's which is just a type of ginger, not an indication of age. But if it's that's a baby ginger, and if it's white, then it's your other standard ginger. So pickled, and I'm just gonna set this stuff out of the way. These are store-bought. I've showed you these before, the spicy pickled yellow radish. I think you're gonna learn today that I love radishes. Carrie says we need Marianne with the ginger. I don't think anyone in this house would be upset by Marianne. But so we don't need to go crazy because I have so many pickled things. Spicy pickled daikon. Actually, they call it yellow radish, but yellow radish is daikon radish that has been pickled in turmeric. Then to make it spicy, they take it out of the brine and mix it with the hot chili. So daikon pickles. You know what? You can't see because I got this coffee lid sitting here. Let's move it. There you go. Not that you can see that well from the camera anyways, but I figure that's at least something. This is seaweed salad. You might have seen it in some restaurants, but or in some Asian restaurants, but we do our own. I buy the seaweed in the acai packs, and it comes packed and salted, so you have to soak it to remove the brine. Brine is the wrong word because it's like a salt crust block. You do that, and then you rinse it and rinse it until it doesn't taste salty anymore, and then you mix it together in a saute pan with garlic and ginger, and then you add salt back in because you rinsed all the salt off. And then after you cook everything, you chill it and you add your green onions. And the thing that's nice about seaweed salad is, you know, a lot of times, especially because we don't eat iodized salt, is some of us need extra iodine, and seaweed is a super high iodine food. I want just a little bit more. Now, things to know, if you make your own seaweed salad, you definitely got to make sure that you get all that salt off there. And I'll wipe these off because I'm going to dig into a couple other pickles. You have to make sure that you really fry it up quite a lot because it's sort of like similar like okra. It can get slimy, and you don't want slimy seafood salad. That would be disgusting. So let me talk about now my daikon radishes. So I've seen radishes talked about on a few channels, and they always say like, but I don't love radishes unless they're cooked in beef broth because they've got that peppery bite. That's our standard American red radish. Those are the ones that have the peppery bite. Daikon radish is super sweet, and when you pickle it, that sweetness is highlighted. And I have one daikon radish, and this is just a standard pickle, and we're just going to grab one slice because they are large. A lot of times you'll have this in a Korean barbecue or in Japanese places as well, and you grab it and you put your meat in there and you eat it. But I like them just on the side. Sometimes I cut them up because it is kind of a large bite. And then this is an experimental daikon pickle radish. This one, I'm going to bring it up close to the camera so you can see the color. I don't know if you can tell on there, it's green. They're green. And that's because I put wasabi in the pickle brine. Wasabi, yes. Oh, and Air Fry Nanny says roasted red radishes are amazing. I agree. I just wanted to be clear. And like, I think that I had you try a pickled radish at the Korean barbecue or hot pot that we went to. So you can attest how different they were and how sweet they were. This one is spicy because wasabi burns. I think that I might want to do a horseradish version at some point too, because I think that would be delightful. And all that sloshing about, now I've got pickle juice everywhere. Darn. And let's see. Let's give these noodles a stir. So I wanted to show you this part too. The noodles now are colored from the broth. So you see how they're like bright yellow? Like from my chicken stock, which also has turmeric in it. One time we'll have to do burn my finger so you can see. There you go. So now they're no longer clear. These noodles are like completely tasteless, and they just turn into the flavor of whatever you cook them in. And Air Fry Nanny says, yeah, she thinks she had some of them at K-Pot, daikon radishes. Yep, that's correct. We also got lots of radish greens, thinking of doing a stir fry with them. Definitely. So, this next thing I bought at the Korean grocery, and I just thought it was perfect to share with you. You guys, my coffee. I forgot about it. Let's, I'm going to plunge it. One. Oh, and like a lot of little air bubbles came up. And two. Give it another squeeze. Give it a little bit of slosh about. Get the last little bits out of there. By the way, they tell you can make tea with this, but I'm going to tell you, don't make tea with this because you can't be squishing tea. It's going to give you bitters, and that would be not good. All right, so I'm just giving this the last little bit there. Drips out of there. All right, and we're going to call it done. So it didn't make a very full cup. I probably could have put more. Well, I guess I couldn't because the press was taking up space. It certainly smells nice. Let's see, I'm missing, I haven't paid attention to the comments. Let's see, Carrie says back when he was in Okinawa, he got to go to Japan one day, and the guy that he was with went into a Japanese grocery, and he took a tube and tried it, and the reaction, he knew it was wasabi. Oh yeah, that would do it. Carrie says he likes my plate of stuff, and Rickwin says radish greens are great for you. You can also put them in salads. Yes, they're delightful in salads. I love radish greens. I think you're going to know that I love radish in general. So this is how our plate's starting to come together for our side accoutrements. And then the last thing that I've got to add in is this from the Korean grocery. Do you remember when we were talking about kimchi and I said kimchi is the verb? You kimchi other things. Kimchi is not a dish in of itself because it's not the cabbage. You kimchi cabbage. You kimchi radish. You can kimchi any vegetable you want. And in this case, what I have here, I was so excited because I always mean to make this, but I did not. This is kimchi green onion. That's right, green onion. And it is burning my nostrils with the spice. I'll bring this up close so you can see. There's the kimchi green onions. So this is just where my dinner is going this week. I have to put all that stuff away after the live stream, but here we are. So let me come around and show you the little dish. Oh, my sneaker squeaks, so the dog has to freak out, you guys. All right, so there's our little side dish of accoutrements, everything that we will eat with our soup. But before we have our pickles, we'll set that to the side. Oh, I really set him off, you all. He is flipping his ever-loving mind. out my dog, you guys. He is making too much noise, and it's gonna make me nuts. So let's see. And Carrie's asking if this is coffee in my jar. No, Carrie, these are seasoned eggs. So we'll talk about that again in a second. There we go. There, he's calmed down now. I'm no longer a threat with my squeaky sneakers. So let's see. I completely lost track. Oh. Let's see. Oh, Air Fry Nanny's asking what the main focus for making the little coughing contraption is. It's for a single cup on the go, traveling or camping, or you know, maybe you are in a camper. Maybe you want a nice French press at the office, and you don't want to have like that big thing, all of that kind of stuff. Oh, enjoyment! I will talk to you about the party very soon here. But let's do two things. First, I'm going to turn this down. Second, my chicken. I kept the chicken in the fridge because honestly, I just was like, absolutely not. Chicken is one thing I just cannot let myself sit on the counter. But check it out. This stuff is like it's like wafer thin. It'll only take a second to cook. It's super shaved. So let me just throw that in there. It's probably only about like 4 ounces, if even that, of chicken. I was very conservative with the chicken I'm eating tonight. Not because of any reason other than that was my mood. I got a lot of sour stuff. Let me just give that. Everything is turning yellow because I put so much turmeric in my chicken broth. I'm not sad about that at all. Carrie says he thinks the bripe will be better than the final press. And I'll tell you that I do think that the bripe would be maybe more fun. But I think that the final press is more practical and useful. I'll wash my hands because of the chicken, you all. So that chicken is already basically looking cooked. And now we have to do the hard part. And that is going to be twofold. Guys, I don't want kimchi to stain my yellow counter, so there we go. We're going to use a lot of paper towels tonight too, trying to be tidy. So here we go, my seasoned eggs. These are, like I said, these are not heavily seasoned because I just put them in today, but I still want the egg right now. But I can bring one up and show you the coloration. Maybe. I don't want to spill. Let me do this. So you can see, there you go. It's got like that light beige. And let's have 2 of these with dinner. 2 eggs sounds great, right? So these just go right back to, we just seal it back up. Carrie says chickens can't sit on the counter. Yes, 100%. So there we go. Those are our 2 seasoned eggs. And we'll just cut them into some pieces to put on top of the soup. Sorry to take a minute. I want to pay attention when you're cutting versus looking at the screens and talking to people so that you don't cut yourself. All right, so there's that down. Really messy today. I don't know what's my problem. I will tell you the coffee is really good. And Mama Bear Lynette's asking me what the eggs taste like. So because I used a coconut aminos, fish sauce, a little bit of sesame oil, so some people don't want to have a seed oil like that, sesame seeds, chili flakes, then I added avocado oil because it needed more of that, and then a bunch of apple cider vinegar, so kind of pickly, but in a what's the right word? Like it definitely has like that stir fry sort of sauce flavor. Mm. So this is always the hard part, pouring this stuff out of here, because you know it's big thick noodles, and you don't want it to splash and spill. Yes, there we go. We did it. Oh no, I did spill. Of course we did, because what is it? If you don't spill your soup, then it's probably not delicious. I have a lot to clean up afterwards, but we just go ahead and top it with my eggs. We don't have to be too nice. It's all right. So, but this is basically how I eat at least one of my meals almost every day. Not every day, because sometimes I run out of noodles or I just don't have time, but this is a meal. This is a standard meal for me. And for me, it's delicious. Also though, I got some new chopsticks today. I know, I don't need any new chopsticks, but I do. And I did. They are, I guess it's too hard to show on this. It's another of the Lucky Cats. So they match my bowls. They're bamboo, so we have to hand wash them, but I don't care. I love it so much. I love cats. And I love Lucky Cats the most. But don't tell my Tonkinese that, because he will be very, very jealous. I take an array of pickled things and I scoop it out here with my noodles. It's too hot. It's got to sit for a second, so I'm going to put it back because I'm not into burning my mouth. But all of these things play together with a flavor profile. The salt with the high saltiness of the broth mixed in. Oh, and Carrie's asking if he has an Asian market, if they would have deals on meat. And I will say, likely not. Their meat is usually very high end. For an example, these are special chicken. So they are exactly, you know, so it's a higher end, and they're all of the bougie things, the equivalent. So they're a special strain of chicken, etc. When I buy pork at our Asian market, I get the Berkshire, which is a special line of pigs with regenerative farming practices, etc., etc. And I think most Asian markets tend to lean towards that high-end, higher quality meat, which means it costs a little more. So, all right, let's take a little. Whew. It's still really screaming hot, you guys, but I want some anyways. I will tell you, it made a nice cup of coffee. So the final press, I have zero regrets about getting it. Excellent. So that's what my meal is going to be for dinner, and we'll eat some of it while we're here. I'm going to have a little bit. I probably should have cut up my seaweed stems a little more, because that's kind of intense. I will save that for after the live stream, unless I find a small piece. Oh, there we go. So it kind of acts like a palate cleanser as well. I just love it. It's and that's something too that we don't talk about, is that Asian flavors in the United States, they lean towards very, very sweet, or if you go to a Thai restaurant, very, very, very spicy. But if you are in like Vietnam or in a lot of areas of China, the forward flavor is sour. There's a lot of pickled foods, especially in areas where in the Sichuan region, And again, that's why we have Szechuan pickles and all of that kind of stuff, sour. And the reason they have that is because the growing season is limited, but also you want to be able to preserve your foods so that they last longer. You can harvest and keep them going for a while. So pickling is an excellent way to preserve foods, and it also has a lot of health benefits, a lot of the same benefits that we get from fermented foods. So I have one more thing to show you that I bought. There's more kimchi. This one is also a radish, which I used all my chopsticks. I can't put stuff that I put in my mouth, so we're gonna cheat or use a fork. But spicy is what these are. This radish kimchi is also still daikon, but they cut it in hunks. So this is it's cube cut radish kimchi. It's showing you the label. I don't know why I thought rotating it like as if we're gonna suddenly begin to read Korean on the side. I don't know Korean. I just know it tastes good. So this is, we may as well throw one on the plate. This kimchi is made with fermented anchovy paste. So let's see, radish, chili pepper powder, garlic, ginger, scallion, fermented anchovy paste, kelp-based sauce, salt, and sugar to feed the fermentation. Just so you know, the serving is 1 ounce and has 2 carbs. So I'm satisfied with that. And even though it wasn't planned for my dish, now it is. Whew, just that little lick off my thumb. So I'm gonna get in here now and get the egg. The yolk often blends into the soup, so that's and I just gotta tell you guys, that whole meal didn't take very long to prepare, and really the cleanup is gonna be like 2 minutes for me to wash my pot and to put all my stuff back in the fridge. So as far as I'm concerned, it is a quick and easy, very nutritious meal. I know that a lot of keto people might be bothered by the carbs, but in my entire meal, it's probably like 8 to 9 carbs. And that's total, not 8 or 9 total carbs. So honestly, for an entire meal, I feel like that is entirely reasonable. So, all right, the Halloween party. Let's talk about that. The Halloween party was fantastic. I had a great time. We didn't stay real late. It was they kind of just opened their house for a long time, and but they started at like 2 o'clock and they said until 1 a.m. But I doubt anybody stayed until 1 o'clock in the morning. But we got there around 3, a little after 3. And just when we got there, my friend, she was telling me like, well, sorry that you just got here when I'm saying that I don't know if I'm going to be here very long at my own party because I have cut my finger pretty severely. And we took a look at it and I was like, well, that's gross. And you need to go to the emergency. And actually we found an urgent care a mile from her home, and she was actually back in less than an hour. So it was pretty cool. Of course she was tender, but I took a bunch of cheese and vegetables, and I had made my homemade French onion dip, and I took those deviled eggs. So it was great. They also had a cheese platter. They had a spinach artichoke dip. We also took a bag of high-low chips and pork rinds, which we didn't actually open the pork rinds because I don't know why. That would have been smart to do so. But we played board games. There was a game of Mysterium, and then I can't remember the name of the other one. Mysterium is kind of like a a communication sort of game. I don't even know what to call it, but it just has a lot of different one person is the ghost, and they give you like small hints, and you have to figure out who the person is. So it's a social deduction game is what I'll call it. The other game that we played was called a push your luck game, and I wish I could remember the name of it because I'd like to get a copy. It was just cute as all get out. It was a party game, not like my serious crunchy games, so that's all right. Not everything has to be so serious. But it was super cute. You're vampires, and everybody's drawing cards. You're trying to get blood to eat because you're vampires, and everything is trying to sabotage you. You're trying to survive the night and have the most blood, but pretty much almost no one winds up surviving through the night. So it's hilarious. It was just completely adorable. A lot of stories on the characters, that kind of stuff. Excellent conversation. They also played a game of Codenames. Codenames is a teamed up game where you give each other hints to guess the words on the table. It's a really good game. Well done. I'll get to your comment in just a minute, Mama Bear. I'm going to eat this spicy bite and hope that I don't keel over from how spicy it is. That is good. And I kind of want to get more, but I also kind of don't. Not at 7 o'clock at night. That's some nice cooling gamer subs. Mama Bear Lynette is asking if I could share why I know so much about Asian food. Did I spend time in Asia? Part of it is just that I've enjoyed the flavors. I didn't, but I did very early in my life. I worked for doing some import and export wholesale stuff that required traveling to a lot of Asian countries and therefore exposure to a lot of the cultures. But I also, at the time, because I don't speak the languages, traveled with an interpreter who was very insistent that I learn a lot and try everything. And it just really opened my eyes. On top of that, I'm a foodie, which led me then to be more interested and curious, developing the flavors, learning how to cook. And because I'm just naturally nerdy, it just sort of went that way. And because it very much suits my flavor desires, I just learned a lot about it because that's, I don't know, I felt like it's the respectful thing to do. So even when I'm not doing it right, then I just apologize. Sorry, I'm not doing it right, but it is what it is. So the chat stopped, so I hope everything is running okay. You're just listening to me. Oh, Hungry He says that's amazing. So, well, thank you. But let's see. So yeah, that was the party. What else? We are trying to get a little piece of chicken, but some of it got stuck together. There we go. Delightful. Maybe I used too much turmeric this last time in the broth. I don't know if that's possible though, because turmeric is amazing. All right, so what else do we have to go over? Tell me some things about your weekend. What have you all done this weekend? Oh, and Mama Bear says it was it's nice that I got to travel so much. It was a really good experience. And Jen is asking if I have to go to the office this week. No, but this week is going to be a short week for me. I work until Thursday, and then Thursday afternoon I am off, and Friday I head out, and Friday I'm off because we have an event here called Trauma, and it is a unique, very loud party Halloween 3-day event that has a lot of very artistic shows, a lot of very out there kind of art stuff, the performances, just it's so much going on. And so I volunteer, and so I'm working there. So I'm there from way before they open until the wee hours of the morning, tearing down. I do some fire performing, and sometimes on Thursday night there's no alcohol, so everybody is nicely behaved. Friday and Saturday the drinks are flying. And let me tell you, by the end of the night, some of these people need to go home. But they're still wonderful people, and I love getting to interact with them. But I will tell you that by Monday, actually on Sunday, man, I'm just going to tell you right now, quality that is already questionable on my channel is going to be even more questionable. Very questionable, because I'll have gotten home at about 3 o'clock in the morning. Traditionally, I always say I'm going to sleep in and sleep most of the day to kind of reset myself. But because I've conditioned to be a morning person, I often wake up and just suffer. Now, we will have coffee talk. I cannot post pictures of my firework. I think I might have something that I can share. I don't know. I'll look through. But I can't. There is a no photography policy other than they're professional photographers. So there you go. Yes, I would have told you on Friday morning when I remembered that I didn't tell you. But so consider this, now you have an entire week's advance notice. I will miss Friday night. I will definitely miss it, because I will be at trauma, herding the cats. Hey, good evening, Brenda. I'm going to take another big bite. Sorry, guys. Oh. Let me tell you about Tuesday when I went to the office for the full day. What a great time, let me tell you. So I had a keto chow before I left, and thought that would be great because my boss and I had talked beforehand, and we had planned to order a taco bar from a place that had let us know that yes, all of their meats and vegetables were gluten-free. They said because we have flour tortillas and some other flour tortillas, the restaurant is not certified gluten-free. There are gluten in some things, but they gave us a whole list. And even though I can't eat the corn stuff, I was like, that's fine, get it. And we were going to order a taco bar, but the secretary said that when she got a quote, it was like almost 4 times as much as what we were quoted, and so she ordered pizza instead, which of course meant now that not only did the vegetarians not get an option because she didn't order a plain cheese or a veggie pizza that all had meat on it, but it meant like there are 2 of us who have celiac. They sent 1 salad dressing that was a blue cheese salad dressing that was gluten-free, 1, and like 15 salads, and then a bunch of other salad dressing that was not okay. And even though the blue cheese dressing was gluten-free, it was still made with like canola oil, maltodextrin. Let me tell you, I had my keto chow, but at 1 o'clock in the afternoon when everybody was eating pizza, I was hungry. But these salads, you guys, these were the saddest salads ever. It was like shredded lettuce and green bell pepper, not even a tomato. And so the other person with celiac and I split the salad dressing and ate one of these sad salads. And so, it's not her. I don't want to say a secretary failed, because she was trying to do the right thing, and I appreciate that part. However, I was hungry. Lucky for me, in my backpack, I found a very ancient ratio bar, and so I ate it. And I was like, wow, this ratio bar was too delicious because of how hungry I am, because they're usually not delicious. We did save money. I also think that something was not right, and maybe because, again, we checked again, and like if either one of us had been able to order, it was only like $250 for everybody. So I don't know what was wrong or what was the deal, but okay, whatever. It's fine. But then we go to dinner, and at dinner time, you guys, you know I like to eat at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then I'm done for the evening. But so we get to this fancy pants restaurant, and it's 6 o'clock, and I have not eaten the really big meal that I normally have at 3, and I am positively ravenous. Let's see. Oh, and Hungry He says obviously food is kind of important to him. Yeah, me too. Food is definitely a big deal to me, and it just tells me that I should have known better, because I almost always, even when they tell me they're going to accommodate me, take my own food, and my mistake. We'll talk about KetoBrainz in just a minute. I'm going to finish telling the restaurant story. So we get to the restaurant. I am ravenous, but don't you know, they're going to be social, because that's why we're having fancy dinner. And they start ordering cocktails, and it takes like an hour before we actually seat at our table, and they order appetizers. You guys, they ordered a shellfish tower, or well, they called the seafood tower, but it was oysters, lobster, shrimp, and crab legs. I'm dying here. So, but after everybody eats appetizers, and I'm still freaking starving, because of course the other choice was bread, and I'm like, I'm just gonna keel over, let me tell you. But they finally started ordering, and I ordered a 10-ounce filet and a side of Brussels sprouts. And I was like, man, I'm gonna blow through this filet and still be hungry. But weirdly, I don't know what they did, but I ate the entire thing, and yeah, so I ate it. Yeah, the seafood tower sounds amazing, but when you're allergic to shrimp and that's on a seafood tower and you're not sure about other shellfish yet, that's a no-go. So I just got to watch everybody eat and drink for a while. I was like, oh, what a day. I was ready to be home. So by the time we were done with dinner, it was like 9:30. And all I think was like, I am so ready to go home. And I literally came home. I didn't even unload all my stuff out of the car. I just climbed up the stairs and like flopped into bed. I was done. But I will tell you, that filet was delicious. And I'm not a big fan of fillets, but it was really good. No, there was no cheese plate. So let me tell you this, the restaurant we went to is like it's like a 5-star Michelin, or I say 5-star, 5-star rated. They've got a couple Michelin stars. So, I mean, it was really good. So, it was, I mean, I don't begrudge, like, there was nothing wrong with the restaurant, and it wouldn't be a normal thing for them to have a cheese plate. So, at any rate, so, the KetoBrainz. So, the KetoBrainz, you guys, I'm loving it. I just gotta come back and say, it's been a while that we've been having KetoBrainz daily. I feel that it's been beneficial. I think that it has been pretty good. I feel a little bit more mentally clarity. That didn't come out right. I feel a little bit more mentally clear. So I gotta say, I'm a customer, 100%. So I just, they're a winner. I'm gonna have to go and sign up for a subscription, because I feel like we are gonna really want to incorporate it in. So Attila has also had the KetoBrainz. I don't know if he wants to chime in on anything. So, oh, and Brenda says she just ordered some. She found a discount code. Nice. Hunger He says, yeah, company dinner's not the time to experiment to see if you'll get sick or not. Yeah, and I was gonna try lobster when I saw it on sale, but enough people were warning me that I got too nervous and just decided it was better not to. So we'll be testing. So, and Mama Bear says she likes the KetoBrainz too. Now the only thing I'm gonna say with the KetoBrainz is that it does make me full, so that I don't necessarily want all my food, and I'm not certain that it gives me I want to make sure that as I eat it that I don't substitute out KetoBrainz and miss out on some nutrition that I need later. So I have to still find that balance a little bit. That's not a problem with the KetoBrainz. That's a problem with the Maitreya and my general planning for the day. Attila says he's been feeling more focused and less depressed getting back into exercise. So I feel like it's a winner all around. We love it. So let me have a little, oops, that was too much ginger. A little ginger. Oh, Carrie's been 3 years carnivore. Yeah, we've been keto for a real long time. So it's good that we're starting to tweak a few things now, because I feel like we kind of got a little too comfortable. And in this household, maybe we have gotten a little too sloppy, and now we're starting to everybody's getting a little chunkier. So we need to maybe go back to some basics and think things through a little bit. Just pay more attention, really, and actually do more exercise. Oh, and Brenda, you're concerned about the MCT? I don't think it should. It's not like the liquid, the liquid refined MCT oil causes more issues because of a few different things. Some of it is the fat, and some of it is oh, fiddlesticks. The fat, it's just a different way of it's the way it's refined, and some of that is negated in the powdered version. Now, it's also not as potent, although it is still really, really good and effective. Oh, Carrie, these are they're seaweed noodles. Hang on a second. I'm going to dig in my fridge for a minute because they're at the back. Hang tight with me, folks. Sorry to disappear and be quiet at the same time. They are seaweed noodles. It's a seaweed extract it is mixed with sodium alginate and calcium chloride and aluminum ammonium sulfate. So if you saw a couple years ago, whoops, when everybody was making those viral noodles from Keto Asian Flavors, this was one of the types of products that she used to develop and reverse engineered the recipe. It's molecular gastronomy, the seaweed extract, etc., etc. So the fridge is really stocked right now. It's not cognac. It's not cognac at all. And we've talked about these. Maybe we need to do them again. But they are, again, it's a seaweed extract. So water, sodium alginate, calcium chloride, aluminum ammonium sulfate are the ingredients. So it's sodium alginate. So when we made those viral noodles, you blended in the blender the water, and she added the eggs, but she didn't have to. And then the sodium alginate with the extract comes together and it gets super, super thick. And then when you pipe it into the calcium bath, that's what makes it solidify into the noodle. So they're not, and these have to be treated afterwards. Like, you can't eat them straight out of the package like you do with the Miracle Noodle. I mean, I know you rinse them, but these have to be softened because they're super hard. So I have to put stuff back in anyways. But yes, my fridge is really stocked right now because this was grocery shop week. So we bought everything we need for about 3 weeks. So we try not to shop too much outside of the month. Really, the only things that we buy we do like one really big weekend of shopping where we hit all our main stores and I get everything we need for a while. Then we just do occasionally we will grab like a couple little things we want along the way and our heavy cream. So all right, let's see. Carrie says he had a comment for the Food Network about one of the shows he was watching on Discovery Plus, and they replied to his comment and said they would use it to help channels to try and make their show better. That's awesome. And and Carrie says that now he remembers me showing the noodles. Oh, and Carrie says tomorrow he can get more food. So yeah, so you can also do your shopping. So, like I said, we went and I got the other thing that we got was spicy sausage, so that we can make the spicy pumpkin soup. The pumpkin was being discontinued at Costco, so they had it on an unheard of discount. So I got a bunch of it because that's a great food for us. So yep. And Air Fry Nanny says she needs to shop and plan, waiting for the new debit card next week. So nice. Everybody is it's gonna work out. I'm gonna tear a little piece off the wasabi radish to try it out. I'm gonna try it just plain. Oh, nice. Okay, so the wasabi pickling works out great because it is still super sweet from the daikon radish, and then you get just like a little bit of that hint of wasabi in the back. Very nice. All right, good night, Mama Bear Lynette. Actually, no worries. It's also time for me to go. It's like 3 minutes to 7:30, and of course, as you know, I'm eating my dinner and drinking my coffee. It's a darn good cup of coffee, you all. All right, so I look forward to seeing you guys. Let's see. Anything else that you guys want to talk about? By the way, barely begun. I saw you talking about your business. I'm looking forward to seeing that. I saw that you sent me a link, and I did take a peek, and I was excited. So I look forward to shopping with you in the future. Hey, good evening, Rhonda Clark. Nice to see you. It has been a hot minute. So I'm glad that you're here, and I hope that you have an amazing night because you're amazing. So, all right, everyone, I'm going to go eat my dinner and then go to bed because it's late. So you have a great one. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.